Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. Happy Teachers Day.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are
Hello.
audible. Good morning, sir.
Every time some technical problem.
You are audible to us, sir.
Hello.
Hello, we are hearing you.
Hello. Now. Hello.
Sir, you are audible to us.
But voice is very, very low.
Your voice is clear, sir.
Now.
We are hearing, sir.
Okay. If it is audible to you, I can go ahead. Let me. Ah. Yes. Welcome to the class Public Relations, fourth semester, second year. Now, in this paper, you have 5 blocks divided into 12 lessons. We are supposed to finish them. All the 12 lessons, they are called 12 units in 4 classes. So already one class was over, and today we are into the second day. Let us try to discuss on lesson number 2, 3, 4, and 5, if possible, also 6, because we have to finish all these classes within 4 online sessions. Now, unit number 2, that is lesson number 2, principles of public relations. Now, in these principles of public relations, there are 10 basic principles of public relations. They are corporate mission. Every organization, whether it is government, corporate body, industrial establishment, any organization, even a private sector entity, or even an NGO will have a vision, mission, corporate goals, corporate objectives. So that is very important because public relations practitioners are connected or interested because it is their job to know what is the mission, vision, goals, and objectives of the organization and try to make out the PR goals in accordance with the goals of the organization. Because the PR goals or PR objectives will have to be in consonance with the overall objectives, overall goals, the vision and mission of the organization. It must be very clear. It means if the organization wanted to do something, your public relations department cannot go against it. Therefore, whatever you do shall be in consonance with the organization's objectives and goals. The corporate mission and vision. What is the vision? Vision is a long-term one. The mission is the short-term one. The present mission, what is the mission of the particular organization? The vision may be different, but the mission is different from the vision. But even the mission and the vision and the mission of an organization must be in tandem with each other. Now, having done with the corporate mission, the another basic principle of public relations is two-way communication process. It is never a one-way. It is always a two-way communication. It means there must be something to be communicated, something to be disseminated, and on the other hand, there must be something feedback or response or reaction. So therefore, public relations practice is always a two-way communication process. This is one of the basic principles of public relations. Then public interest, because it is public relations, we are concerned with the public, not just general public, but the targeted public, segmented public, specified public, specialized public. So their interest is your interest. So this is the third principle of public relations practice. And truth. In other professions of communication like advertising, publicity, propaganda, and others, lobbying, there are also the professions of communication where there may be truth or may not be truth, but essentially in the practice of public relations, there must be truth. If there is no truth, it is not a public relations practice. There may be some facts or half truth in the practice of advertising and publicity, lobbying, propaganda, whatever it is, but public relations deals with only with the truth and the facts associated with the truth. The ethics are involved, and also the morals are involved. So without morals, without ethics, without the truth and the associated facts, it cannot be a public relations practice. And then another principle of public relations practice is good cause and good deeds. Good cause, there must be a good cause. If the organization has something to do and it is for the good cause, you have to be with the organization, because there is truth, there is good cause, and there will be good deeds. If the organization wanted to do something which is not in the interest of the public, then it is not warranted. It is not necessary for the public relations to go with the cause which is to be executed by the organization. Therefore, there must be a good cause for the PR to intervene. There must be good deeds for the PR to intervene. There must be morals, there must be ethics, there must be truth, and the facts associated with the truth only, not all facts. The another basic principle of public relations is it is a multifunctional discipline. So it has several things to perform, several things. We'll come to it later. So it is a multifunctional discipline, not a single one. You cannot say, I will do this, I cannot do this. Suppose the organization wanted to do this and it is entrusted to public relations profession, you have to do it. And if anything, corporate social responsibility is the new assignment given to the public relations wing or department or compartment, whatever is attached to the organization, then it is the duty of the public relations wing to attend to it. Therefore, it is multifunctional discipline. From management, basically it is a management function. Management function it has to attend, and all other functions, employee relations, media relations, customer relations, government relations, financial relations, every kind of relations that is related to the concerned public. The public concerned with the organization will have to be taken up by public relations department or wing or public. If it is a single man, single individual, only one PRO is there, no other assistants. There is no department, no wing. Yet, still, this has to be attended by PR department, whatever is assigned. Therefore, it is all centric. Public relations profession is all centric. Is a jock of all, master of many. Then multimedia approach. Multimedia approach means, you know what is media. Media means print media is print medium, newspapers, books and journals, that is called print medium. That is one medium of communication. That is mass medium of communication. On the other hand, you have electronic media. Electronic media is again divided into two, that is radio and television. Radio is audio medium of communication, yet it is mass medium because it broadcasts information. And the other one in the electronic media is television. Television means audio-visual communication. So in the media is basically, this is also called traditional media, conventional media. Traditional media or conventional media. Don't get confused with folk media. rural media. So traditional media or conventional media or mainstream media, all the three are one and the same. The newspaper, that is print medium, the electronic media, that is radio and television, radio being audio visual and television being radio being audio only, television being audio visual, and the latest internet based digital media, all the four, that is print, newspaper, radio, television, digital, all these things constitute multimedia. So if at all a PR department or a PRO has to disseminate some kind of information that is meant for the public consumption, that is, that public shall be the targeted public, concerned public, specific public, specialized public, segmented public. If it is to be disseminated to that people, you have to adopt multimedia or sometimes media mix. It means what? Multimedia means you have to use them together or separately or in combination. Supposing one message is to be put to rural people, what reaches the rural area shall be taken into consideration. Maybe because they are illiterates, they may not read. Therefore, the purpose of printing pamphlets and handouts or whatever brochures will get defeated. In that area, in that eventuality, in case you wanted to communicate with the people in the rural area, you being the PRO of that particular organization which is interested in that particular group of people, radio would be better. And sometimes dance drama would be better. Sometimes harikatha would be better. Sometimes Oggu katha, Purra katha, and whatever rural art forms are there, even Pagati Vaishagalu, Tupaki, Ramanna, Dudu Basavanna, whatever is the form, you have to judge yourself which medium of communication is suitable for communicating or disseminating this information to that kind of people. So you select. If you put that, this, and this becomes multimedia. If you use one particular media, that is one single medium of communication. So multimedia approach is one of the basic principles of public relations practice. You cannot say, I will use this only. If you say, I will this only, it may not reach the public and your management may not agree, because that becomes a costly medium, because production of something, some program over television may be costly. But whereas speaking to the radio by the management or the MD or CMD or general manager, or you yourself as public relations manager or corporate communications manager, you can talk to radio that is cost efficient. With less cost, you can reach more people. For this, you will have to understand the characteristics of each medium of communication. Newspaper, what is its characteristics? It is print. It goes to the readers, literates only. What is the percentage of people, literate people in the society? Or at least whether your targeted public are literate or illiterate. If your targeted public are illiterate, better you talk to them orally or talk to them via radio or make out some CDs or make out some audiovisual CDs and put them through local cable communication, local TV process, whatever it is. So knowing your audience is the first principle, as I already told you. And then what medium of communication will reach them? There are two things here. One is media reach and the other one is media access. What is media access? That which is that medium which is accessible to the speaker or the communicator is called media access. And media reach is the second thing. Which medium reaches the maximum? Which medium of communication reaches that particular group of people, that particular location, that particular geographical location? These are all the things a public relations practitioner will have to keep in mind. So two things you have learned separately. In addition, that is access, media access and media reach. You know what is the reach of radio in India? As far as geographical jurisdiction is concerned, the radio reaches 99.5% of the entire Indian subcontinent. You know what is the reach of television? It may be some 60-70%. What is the reach of newspaper? Maybe same, because it reaches only the literates who can read. If it is a language paper, maybe more. If it is English paper, it may be less. Therefore, the media access as well as the media reach will have to be kept in mind in dissemination. That means giving out information to the public concern. Now, another principle of public relations is change agent. So, public relations practitioners are change agents. Change agents, in one word, is catalyst. Catalyst means who seeks change, change for the better. So, public relations practitioners are catalysts. It means change agents. How to change? How to change the people? By giving the information, by giving credible information, and by persuasion, and trying to convincing them by doing perceptions management, by explaining them that these are the advantages of having this kind of information, this kind of service, this kind of product, this kind of idea. It shall the public relations practitioner must be in a position to explain, convince, and seek the favorable public opinion. By all these exercises, he will change the opinion, the perception of the targeted public towards the organization for which you, being a PR man, or if you are a journalist, even then you are attached to an organization, you are taken, you are hired, you are appointed as a public relations practitioner, even as a journalist. Your duty is to perform the duty of a change agent. So public relations man will have to have four qualities. They are called four A's. A. That is, one is advisor. The first A is advisor. The second A is analyst. The third A is advocate. Advocate here, not a legal advocate. There is a difference between lawyer and advocate. Whoever studies law, whoever acquires law degree is a lawyer. He cannot go to the court. He can only advise the people on legal matters. Whereas an advocate is the one who not only passes the law degree, but also registers with the local bar council or bar association, and he is eligible to stand before the judge or magistrate or whatever it is and argue on behalf of his claims. So that is the basic difference between a lawyer and an advocate. Here, the advocate means advocacy. PR is also an advocacy. Public relations is an advocacy. You advocate things on behalf of your organization. Therefore, a PR man is also an advocate. First thing is advisor, second thing is analyst, third thing is advisor, and the fourth characteristic of a public relations man is antenna. What is antenna? Antenna means what is the job of the antenna? What function it performs? It receives the signals. So what is the opposite? Mouthpiece. So public relations man is not only a mouthpiece of the organization because he speaks on behalf of the organization, he writes on behalf of the organization, he communicates on behalf of the organization, he writes content on behalf of the organization meant for the targeted public. Therefore, he is a mouthpiece of the organization. And at the same time, he is also the antenna, the fourth A. Advisor, analyst, advocate, and antenna. So he is a mouthpiece and also the antenna of the organization. What is the duty of antenna? It receives signals. Good or bad, it receives the signals. Similarly, the public relations man will have to gather public opinion through their reactions, through their response, by performing the function of an antenna. If you work as an antenna, you will come to know what is the perception. Perception means what the people are thinking. What is the opinion? What is their reaction? What is their response? Whatever it is from the audience, and you will convert that information, that is as a feedback, and you will forward it to the management or sit with the management, discuss with the management to see whether the particular message or information we are giving out is suitable, is going to yield us the result, the required result, the desired result, or otherwise you change the communication style, you change the content, you change everything. So feedback is very important in order to mend the communication ways, in order to change, in order to alter whatever we are communicating to the targeted public. Therefore, one of the basic principles of public relations is to that public relations man shall act as a change agent. Public relations profession itself as a change agency. It means they are catalysts. They are mouthpieces as well as antennas, advocates, analysts, advisors. Then another basic principle of public relations is sustained effort. I told you in the beginning itself, one you you make it by heart, that one particular definition, so that you will understand what public relations practice is. I'll repeat it again. Public relations, yes, plural, but it is singular. Public relations is a deliberate, planned, and sustained effort to establish and maintain mutual understanding. Establish, maintain mutual understanding between an organization and its publics. Organization can be individual also, celebrity individuals, politicians, industrialists, big shots, whoever he is, even a cinema hero, whatever it is. If you are working for a cinema hero as a PRO, if you are working for a PR manager for an industrialist or business tycoon, business icon, major, very big man in the politics, maybe minister or MLA, MP, or any elected representative. So, in the definition between the organizations and its public means, organization includes individuals also. Okay. Another basic principle of public relations is mutual understanding. In the definition itself, it is there because that is the crux. That is very, very important, because you cannot talk to people, you cannot talk to wall, you cannot talk to animals, you cannot talk to trees and plantations, woods, and you cannot talk in the vacuum. You have to talk to the people who are concerned with your organization. Therefore, mutual understanding. People are there, your organization is there. You are the man in the middle. So, public relations practitioners, another name is a man in the middle. A man in the middle. Also, I told you in the offline class also, he is interstellar Luna Minor. It means he is like a moon among the shining stars. He is a bright moon among the shining stars. In the management, in every organization, in the management, there will be several managers, each looking after their own area of operation. Manager works means he will look after works. Manager material, he will look after material. Manager marketing, manager marketing. Manager transportation, manager logistics, manager shipment, manager supplies, manager what that, manager this. But you are a public relations manager. After pursuing this course, you may become journalist, writing for the media, any of the media, or join any organization as a communication manager. Then you'll have to look after everything. Therefore, it is uh, everything. Everything you have to attend, because it is multifunctional thing. Then, having done with the principles of public relations, there are 10 principles of public relations. They are not confined. They are in the lesson only 10 are given. There are many principles of communication, the characteristic, qualifications, attitude, everything. They are all principles. They are characteristics. Many are there, but for the time being, it is enough. 10 basic principles we have dealt with. Now, corporate identity and corporate image. I have I have written a lesson and made an episode also for EMRC, Educational Multimedia Research Center, Usmania University, recently. If you visit my blog, proactive.blogspot.com, or otherwise later I will circulate, there is a separate lesson on each and every topic concerning public relations practice. Now, corporate identity and corporate image. What is identity and what is image? Corporate identity, in simple, identity you will get by color, by physique, by your crop style, by your wearing apparel, by your size, short or long, by your stout, whether you are stout or lean. This is the identity. Similarly, for organization, also you have a name, that is your identity. You have a mobile number, that is your identity. For organizations, for corporates, there is an identity. This identity will come through their insignia. Insignia. Insignia means logos, colors, catchy words, slogans, punch sentences, all these call. Supposing the corporate identity of LIC, Life Insurance Corporation, because LIC, or for that matter, Maruti car or Tata, whatever it is. The moment you see the logo or the emblem of that organization, you will immediately identify that this is this. Say, for example, LIC is there, there is a flame and two hands protecting the flame so that it will not go off. It means during the life and after the life, we are there to protect you and your family. That is their punchline. That is their logo. The logo is flame and the protecting hands. This way, you imagine for every organization, there is something called insignia. Insignia means something to identify that particular product, that particular service, that particular individual, that particular place, that particular thing, whatever it is. See, for example, you might have seen police on the road doing bandobast service, traffic regulation, and all these things. People will be wearing different kinds of uniforms if they are not wearing different. So, to differentiate a traffic man and a law and order man, traffic man will wear a white shirt and a khaki pant, whereas the law and order man will wear both khaki. And if you go to their shoulders will have some kinds of bands and stars. So they are called insignia. By their insignia, you will be identifying the individuals. That is in the question of ranks, they're in the hierarchy. Suppose one stripe is there, he is a Nayak. Two lines are there, just like chevrons. He is Lance Naik. And if three stripes are there, he is Havaldar or head constable. One single star is there, he is assistant sub inspector. 2 stars sub inspector, 3 stars inspector, 3 stars with APPS or TSPS, then he is DSP. A line emblem, line head's emblem, then he is All India Service, that is IPS. This way, insignia, whether they are stars, lines, graphics, logos, lines, and slogans, catchwords, punchwords, whatever it is, they are called insignia. And in these insignia will get you identity. If it is a corporate organization, corporate identity comes because of these logos. This is about corporate identity. On the other hand, corporate image. What is corporate image? By now you understood what is corporate identity. It is because of the visibility of something, because you are able to see it with your naked hands. You are identifying this is a LG camera, LG television. This is a Samsung refrigerator. This is so and so microwave microwave oven, and this is so and so mixie grinder. Because of the logos and the names, you are identifying. This is visible part of the corporate organization, whereas corporate image is invisible. Invisible means it is something like goodwill. What is goodwill? Goodwill, if you have any idea about accounts or audit, you will easily say goodwill is an asset. Goodwill is not money, but goodwill is measured in terms of money. It is not visible. Employees are the assets beyond balance sheet figures because they are internal publics as far as public relations practice is concerned. Employees, they are called internal publics and they are the assets and also they are the ambassadors. So employees are the assets beyond balance sheet figures. In the balance sheet, what is visible, what is seen is on the left side assets, on the left side liabilities, on the right side assets. So you will be balancing what is the asset, what is liability. Liability is the things that goes out. Asset means that are the things that are with you or with the organization. So employees are the assets on the asset side, not on the liability side. Employees are the assets beyond balance sheet. They will not reflect. Their value is not, it will not reflect in the organization because they are not money, they are men. They are beyond balance sheet. They are ambassadors of the organization. Their words will carry a strong weight in the society, in the community. If all employees start telling that this organization, that is my organization, in which where I am working is bad, it will not pay you salary in time. It will not give you any increments. So the credibility of the organization will vanish. So this image, corporate image, the corporate organizations will get because of all these things, because of its performance, because of its truthfulness towards the employees, internal public, because of its truthfulness towards the targeted public to which it is serving, catering. So not merely by identity, by doing good things and good deeds, corporate image gets boosted. Take, for example, Tata or Ratanji, Tata Ratan. Whatever he produces, people will immediately believe and appreciate because that is the goodwill, that is the image the Tatas have earned. On the other hand, these days we are seeing the Geo. Geo did something business acumen. They have allowed the internet initially free of cost, then slowly they raised it. At the same time, they killed all his opponents, the competitors, including the BSNL. Including the BSNL, the Geo has killed, so to say, as an example, as a case study. Now, what had happened? People realized of late, and then the Tatas have acquired the BSNL, the dying BSNL, which was a public sector undertaking, central public sector undertaking. Now, the Tatas have taken up and they wanted to revive it, and they have fixed the rates very reasonably, and people started migrating from Geo to BSNL. This is only as an example. This is because of the image, not only after acquiring BSNL by the Tatas, because they are already in the business, not business actually, they are already in the industry, and corporate social responsibility is always associated with the Tatas because when they established a city in Jamshedpur, maybe Bihar or Chhattisgarh, whatever. So because they are in the business, they are in the market for several decades, and people know already that their credibility, their image, and everything. And when they have acquired BSNL, people's loyalty, that is called brand loyalty, moved from Geo towards the BSNL. So that is about corporate identity and corporate image. Now, let us go to the next lesson, PR models. PR models. What are the models? I told you, model means something representative. Something represents something. That representative thing is called a model. What is the model of airflow? The air is flowing, but you have to picturize that, you have to depict that, you have to illustrate that, and you will draw a coconut palm or any tall tree, and you will project that in such a way that wind is blowing. So that is a model. All you see in the televisions are models, one model or the other. Housewife model, mother model, sister model, daughter model, granddaughter model, grandmother model. And if a model is representing a fire service, that model must be in fire brigade dress. If a model is, if a woman or a man is representing some hospital services other than doctor, whatever it is, doctor or a paramedical service, that particular model must be in the particular attire. Attire means dress. So these are all the models. For everything, there is a model. The model is only to understand the subject in a better manner. It is only for understanding the things. Now, public relations has been the public relations transition along the history has been divided into stages, and each stage has been identified as a model. Now you have three public relations model, uh, Indian models, and four Indian models and four Western models. Let us look at them quickly. The first thing is, in ancient India, the model of public relations was propaganda model. Now, public relations, after adopting code of ethics, after it has become a specialized management function, a profession on its own, now it is no more propaganda. But the origin of public relations can be traced to propaganda. But propaganda being bad, now we don't own it. It is negative in public relations practice. So propaganda model was adopted in ancient India, where the kings, the emperors adopted only the propaganda. It means to propagate the message, only to propagate the message. What is the message? I conquered this. I established this. I defeated this land, this king or the emperor. I acquired this. So, for the people inside a dominion of a king, that particular people may feel happy that our king has won that dominion, won this kingdom, won that particular area, or whatever it is. But for them, it is good. But for others, but the people of the enemy who has been defeated, the thinking may be different. But propaganda, by and large, means to propagate the things, whatever he has done, the emperor or the king or the ruler or the jamindar or whatever is the designation, because democracy was not there, state was not there, the king himself was the god, he is assumed as the god, reincarnation. In that situation, the propaganda model was there. So public relations was assumed as a propaganda in the earlier days. So now, propaganda, as I told you already in the offline class also, propaganda goes well with the three things. One is religious propaganda. In religion, whatever is the religion, religion says, if you join our religion, if you believe our own God, after death you will be taken to heaven, not the hell. So who has seen the hell or heaven? It is only a perception. It is only a belief. Religion itself is a belief, but still every religion adopts the propaganda technique. They will only propagate. Truth may not be there. Some truth will be there, some truth may not be there, but it is called. But in public relations practice, there must be a truth, and that truth shall stand to the test of truth. It must be proved. Otherwise, it is not a truth. Therefore, propaganda goes well with religion, that is called religious propaganda. The second one is political propaganda. In politics also, leaders of political parties of a particular region will promise so many things through their manifesto. Manifesto is a document that is circulated among the people, voters, saying that if you elect us in 5 years term or 3 years term, whatever is the duration, we will do this for you, we'll do this for you, we'll attend this, we'll do this, we'll construct this, we'll dig this, we'll put this. They will promise. Those promises together are called manifesto. So, in political propaganda, through manifesto, the parties, political parties, or the individuals representing the political parties will promise many things. But if you check them after 5 years' term, when they come again for vote, requesting for votes, not even 20-30% of the promises mentioned in the manifesto would not have been completed. So it is a false thing. They have not, they promised 100 things and failed, not even to the extent of 50%. Then it is not public relations. Public relations means telling the facts, confining to the truth, having the morals, having the ethics. Now in politics, there will not be morals. In politics, there will not be ethics. In politics, there will not be 100% truth. In politics, there may not be fact, but half facts. Therefore, religious propaganda, political propaganda, and then the other one is war propaganda. War propaganda, by saying war propaganda, you will immediately go to the Goebbels propaganda, because Goebbels was the information minister of Führer Hitler. Hitler was the ruler of Germany during the Second World War period. So the Hitler was so powerful that he was almost ruling the entire world. So America, America was there, Russia was there, Japan was there, India was there, but alongside the Germany, the Japan was there, and other enemy countries were there. And with the USA, UK, India, Russia, these countries were called ally countries, and both the parties clashed. And in the war, the Germany was subdued. It was destroyed. So during the Second World War, before destroying the Germany by these ally forces means USA, UK, Russia, and India also added. So this information minister of Hitler, he used to tell all nonsense, saying that whenever his one of his airports was bombarded, he used to tell that nothing happened. In fact, we have downed that particular helicopter, the enemy helicopter, enemy bomber, enemy fighter, enemy jet fighter. All these things opposite to what has happened. He used to tell the reason behind this Goebbels propaganda means because it got the name of Goebbels propaganda, telling the lies repeatedly, making the people to believe that it is true. This is called Goebbels propaganda. Telling the lies repeatedly, making the people to believe that it is true. So సో తినగ తినగ వేమ తీయనుండు అంటే వేపాకు తింటున్న కొద్దీ తీపి అనే ఫీలింగ్ మనకు వస్తుంది. ఇదే సేమ్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ మీద ఆన్ ది సేమ్ లైన్స్, repeated telling of lies, people will generally think that there was a study very recently by an American foundation saying that people started believing all rumors and they enjoyed it throughout the world, not only India, America, wherever human beings are there. And the research found out that people are not believing the fact or truth, even though it has been proved that it is truth, this is false. People tend to believe, enjoy only the half facts, half truth, and the rumors, not the truth. The psychology has become like that. And the social media, the digital media has created this kind of an atmosphere, an environment where people are not able to digest the truth. They're enjoying half truth. They're enjoying the rumors. The rumor is such a thing, it travels through the grapevine. Grapevine means not W-I-N-E, V-I-N-E. Wine means a creeper. A grapevine will not have a single stem. It will have several stems. So a rumor, if it is passed through a grapevine, grapevine means a structure of communication process. If you put the rumor through a grapevine, it will go like a wildfire. By the time the truth will put on its shoes, the half truth or the rumor will go 1.5 times around the world. That is a saying. So నిజము చెప్పులు వేసుకునే లోపల అబద్ధం అనేది రూమర్ రూపంలో ప్రపంచాన్ని అంటే భూగోళాన్ని 1.5 సార్లు తిరిగేసి వచ్చేస్తున్నాడు. ఇది షూ వేసుకోలేదు, ఇంకా లేసి కట్టుకోలేదు. So that is the speed of rumor. That is the danger with the rumor. That is in rumor, it is always misinformation and disinformation. Misinformation can be tolerable. Disinformation cannot be tolerated. Misinformation is by mistake. Disinformation intentionally done. So మనకు వచ్చేటువంటి సోషల్ మీడియాలో we find misinformation and disinformation, and how to counter this misinformation and disinformation. I have written an editorial about misinformation and disinformation in one of the previous issues of my journal, Public Relations Wise. I think you know that I am editor of Public Relations Wise. So also about misinformation and disinformation, there are lessons in my blog also. You can see that for more information. Okay, for now. So you have 3: religious propaganda, war propaganda, and political propaganda. Now came the stage after that. During the British India, the public relations model was publicity model or public information model. Publicity means Cutlip and Center. Alan Cutlip and Center, they have given a definition about publicity. Publicity means publicizing the things, giving the information in order to publicize the things. Propaganda means propagating the things by giving false information. Simple. You can write your own definition. Propaganda means propagating true or false to the people. That is propagation, propagating the things. Publicity means publicizing the things that has been acted upon, that has been that has occurred. Publicity. Publicity, public information model was the model of public relations during British India, so to say. So British people came when? Some 200 years ago, before we attained independence. Maybe if it is 1947, 200 years ago. Exactly after 100 years of their coming, there was a mutiny called Sipai's Mutiny. After Sipai's Mutiny, this is the landmark. After Sipai's Mutiny, the company has been set aside. They were asked to go aside, and the crown itself, crown means the British government itself took over the dominion of India. So that was 1857. After another 90 years or so, 1947, we got independence. So 200 years they ruled. For 800 years prior to British rule, the rule was the rule by the Islamic or the emperors and kings that believed Islamism. So 800 years plus 200 years. This was 1,000 years under the alien rule. Until the India was under aliens rule. So whatever it is, that is history. But we have segregated the period as far as public relations practice. We are trying to identify public relations, how it was during that period. In the ancient period, how it was, what was its name? That was the model then. And after the Islamic rulers were over, the British took over. And what was the model of public relations means? It was in the shape of a publicity only. The British government used to publicize only their things. They laid ports, they laid railway tracks, they publicized. They don't want the opinion, they don't want the feedback, they don't want the people's aspirations to be implemented. They wanted what they wanted and publicized their activities. They laid railway tracks from all the three ports, all the three presidencies, Chennai, Kolkata, and Bombay, all the three ports. And whatever they wanted to grab, whatever they wanted to steal, they have taken via railways to the up to the ports, all the three ports, and from there steamers to the England. So they have taken all the raw materials, they have taken all resources. In doing so, they have done something administration. They have done something like they have built canals, they have built dams, they have built reservoirs. So, for example, Sir Arthur Cotton, he has constructed a bridge. Of course, it has prevented waste of water going waste into the sea, but diverted for agriculture purpose. But for that purpose, for that reason, we appreciate that. But their ultimate aim and intention was to plunder, to take away the wealth, to take away the raw material, to take away the resources. But still, they made us believe, they made the Indian people believe that they have done something: education, health, some culture, some religion they have brought in. So all these things they have publicized. They have publicized their religion, they have publicized their activities, they have publicized their services, everything they have publicized. So that was the era of publicity and public information. So we took it as a model of public relations during that particular period, right from 1757, something like that, till 1947, for 200 for a period of 200 years. Then Gandhian era of public communication. Gandhi was there in South Africa. He was practicing law. He wanted to come down to India and participate in freedom movement. So when he came, he adopted a technique called truth force. And that particular period, he started two journals and communicated with the people that this is our right, this is their wrong, this has to be done, but they have done like this. So he started exposing what all the sorry. Uh, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Ah, yes. Gandhian era of public communication. See, first period was propaganda. The second period, as far as our dissection, the second period was publicity and public information model. And the third one was Gandhian era. Gandhi is a symbol of truth force. Truth force means satyagraha. In the truth itself, public relations truth is hidden. So after Gandhi came, he has changed the entire communication style as far as India is concerned, as far as India and England are concerned. So during a Gandhian period, he has steered the entire communication process towards the convincing of the people, towards persuading the people, towards modifying the opinion of the people. So, therefore, our foundation, the foundation of public relations, is also there with the Gandhian era of public communication. And the fourth model of Indian public relations model is public relations model after independent India. So when we got independence, the we established the Government of India Media Units, a Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, and with all its 21 media units we have established. What for? To give out, to disseminate the information about the government and its activities, public welfare programs, policies, schemes, subsidies, industry establishment, whatever it is, all these things, government started giving out information to the public. Whatever information needed by the public, that information, as and when a particular thing has been completed and executed, that information has been given out to the people. So that is one way, giving out. And at the same time, government started taking back the feedback, the reaction, response from the people also. Now this is exactly the public relations model of uh, 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 public relations model after independence, even now, one of the models of Indian PR models. Now, having done with the Indian PR models, let's go to Western PR models. Western PR models, James Grunig and Hunt of USA, they have identified that this and this and this are the PR models. Our Indian models are clear. We are clear. Propaganda model, publicity and public information model in one particular era period. Gandhian era is something different, and after independence, we had our own public relations, two-way process of communication. But James Krunig and Hunt, these two authors, theorists, they have identified that these are the models, general models obtaining in the entire universe, India apart. One model is press agentry publicity model. So they're also practical. These models are not based on the period in the history, but these models are based on the practice that the public relations people or the publicity people or the advertisers, whoever it is, or press agents or media people, they have identified the practice as such as models. That is one press agentry. What is press agentry? Press agent means agent of a press. A public relations man working for an organization may not be PRO at that point of time during the history, may not be communication manager at that point of time, but who is attending for the publicity or propaganda or whatever it is lobbying, he was doing some kind of press agency business. It means he used to write something on behalf of the organization and act as an agent of the press, so that whatever he writes, whatever the organization wanted to write him, that is given to the press, and the press it appears in the press the next day or in the evening, or it is broadcast in the radio the same time, or it is put through the television. It means press agentry. And public relations, one of the models was press agentry, it was assumed, and publicity is also model. So because PR practitioners are meant for publicity, they thought it at that point of time. So press agentry or vis-a-vis the publicity model was one of the models identified by this James Grunig and Hunt. And another model was public information model, because whatever information is needed by the people. So there is a difference between public information and private information. What is public information? What is private information? Whatever information I have, I keep with me as a secret. That is called private information. Whereas public information is the information belonging, pertaining to the people, held in the government organizations, held in public authorities. Supposing in the revenue department, you wanted to ask that whether my land or GHMC or registration department, registration comes under revenue department, whether my plot or my land is unencumbered or not. What is encumbrance? Encumbrance అంటే తెలుగులో చెప్పాలంటే ఏదో జంజాటం. నా ప్లాట్కి ఏదైనా జంజాటం ఉందా, కానీ నా పేరు మీదనే ఉందా, or whether it is in others name. If I wanted to know, I will file a petition. These days we am going to E7, file a petition, pay the fees and ask for encumbrance certificates. In the encumbrance certificate, your information is there. That is public information, because that is a public authority and you are asking that public information. If X asks EC of this particular this thing, because that is in the public domain, that person will be given EC of your plot or site, house site or house plot or building or flat, whatever it is, your house. So public information is the information that can be given to the public, sometimes when asked, sometimes even without asking. You might have come across citizen charter. A citizen charter is also a public information given suo motu. It is not given when you ask it. They will say on their own that this work will be done in particular time. This work will be, another call, Giri is calling. Okay. This particular work will be given in this particular time. Why a citizen charter? Go to the website of any government department or government organization or any central public sector undertaking or any state public sector or any public enterprise or any private organization or any corporate college or a government hospital, an industrial establishment or a business house. Whatever it is, they will have their own portals, they will have their own domains, they will have their own websites, they will have their own blogs, they will have their own digital platforms, digital handles, where they will put their information that is meant for public. That information which is revealed in these areas, in these walls, in these platforms, is called public information, because that information can be made known to the public, can be consumed by the public. So that is the difference between public information and private information. Now, one of the Western model PR models used to be public information model. It means governments of the day used to display through newspapers, through bulletin boards, through whatever mode they adopt, some kind of information needed by the public, to the extent, not all, that kind of model is called public information model. Then two-way asymmetric model. What is two-way asymmetric model? Symmetry means there is some unison, there is some connection, some cooperation, some mutuality. But asymmetric model is communication, as you say, it must be, public relations must be two-way process. Communication feed forward, communication feedback. In two-way asymmetric model, public relations was thought that it is only sending out, giving out, dissemination, not getting back, not getting the feedback, not getting the response, not reaction. So two-way asymmetric model was the name given to public relations at one point of time in one particular area. Maybe in democratic countries, there may not be asymmetry, but symmetry. But in certain Islamic countries, there may be asymmetry, not symmetry. But in democratic countries, especially in India, where everything is transparent, everything is open to the people, because this is founded, the government is founded on democracy. Democracy means the opinion of the people shall prevail. The opinion of the people is expressed by way of giving vote. If somebody gets 51 votes out of 100 votes, he is declared as elected, and the 49 gets defeated, declared as defeat. So this is the process of democracy in the process of democracy, the information must be in an symmetry model, not asymmetry model. Therefore, a two-way asymmetric model was assumed as a PR model at that point of time at that particular area. Now, the fourth model of Western PR is two-way symmetric model. Two-way symmetric model is everything is open, everything is shareable, everything is exchanged. So that kind of information flow to and fro, the sender and the receiver, communicator and the communicatee, source and the destination. So then it is called two-way symmetric model. So after dealing with PR models, let us go to the history of PR. Up to 1 o'clock you have time, isn't it? History of PR. What is the history of PR? Same thing. We have divided the period into models. We'll look into the history in the same lines, but we go by the individual emperors, not by the period. Now, public relations in mythology, as far as history is concerned, Narada, sage Narada. You know sage Narada, Narada Mahamuni. Narada Mahamuni's duty is to create some problem, a small problem, and also give a solution through that problem. And his ultimate policy is for the welfare and happiness of the people at large. For the welfare and happiness of the people at large. That was the policy of sage Narada. Atani is often mistaken as he is a trouble monger. Mudulu, Jagadalu Pettevadani Ankuntaru. But in fact, the character, we don't know because it is a mythology, whether he lived or not. But the mythology says that he was a person, he was a rishi, he was a muni, he was a great, a knowledgeable man, well-read man, well-informed man. And he always sought to clear the doubts, clear the problems by creating a simple problem. He used to solve bigger problem, and all in the interest of the public, for the welfare and happiness of the public at large. It means for majority of the people, not one section. Ultimately, he used to create a small problem, a kind of misinformation, miscommunication, saying that this is happening, this is Raja, Yamaraja, you are looked down upon. Indra is getting bigger and bigger, so you have to do something. That way, he used to create some kind of problem, and ultimately, the ulterior motive of creating such problem is for the welfare of the people at large. So Sage Narada is said to be the foremost public relations practitioner. Our suggestion is that if every PR man must be like a Sage Narada. For your information, one of the awards given to me is PR Narada. It means because I am in PR profession for the past 35 years and also in the organization, I adopted the same thing. In order to solve a bigger thing, I used to create a small thing as a PR functionary. Also in the organizations as PRO, PR manager, and also with the ministers as PRO, I used to create a small problem so that it gets to the notice of the authority concerned. By that small problem, then I will draw the attention to the bigger problem so that it gets clear. So a PR practitioner must think himself, must play the role of a sage Narada, because sage Narada's intention was not as a trouble monger, but he is a troubleshooter. He will create a small problem, thereby draw the attention of the concerned, and then get the larger problem solved for the welfare and the happiness of the people at large. So therefore, the role of public relations practitioner is multifunctional, multidimensional, and he is jock of all and master of many. He's a journalist, at the same time he's a government official. He's a journalist, at the same time servant. He's a master, at the same time he's a servant. So he plays many roles. He has several assignments to perform. Then the state of propaganda, Lord Buddha, is called Sakyamuni, the light of Asia. So Buddhism, after his his disciples adopted the techniques of propaganda again. So in those days, propaganda was not bad. Propaganda was the only available medium of communication to propagate the things. In this case, the Buddhism was propagated not only in India, but outside India, because there was a clash between Buddhism and Hinduism. Do you know? Jainism and Buddhism are called the two revolting daughters of Hinduism. Two revolting daughters of Hinduism. So when there was a clash between the two daughters and the mother Hinduism, the Buddhism, the daughter defeated, accepted the defeat, could not stay inside India, but it has gone out to China, it has gone out to Indonesia, it has gone out to. That is history. We are not bothered about that. We are not concerned about that. But on the go, I am telling you. But propaganda, Buddhism and techniques of propaganda can be reckoned with, because that was the period where propaganda was adopted in order to propagate the religion only, not only inside India and outside. In their propaganda, they have also disseminated some kind of information, some kind of discipline, some kind of habits, some kind of culture, which is better than the other religions. So that way that has been propagated. And then the father of public information, the Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka, after the Kalinga War, he destroyed the Kalinga in such a way that everybody was killed. Every soldier, every civilian in the entire the Kalinga country was killed. They were dispatched, decimated. No, after that he got a realization, because he has already adopted Buddhism as his religion. Then he started ruling the country, ruling his nation in a systematic way, in a truthful manner. And then instead of propaganda, he adopted the giving out public information for the good of the people. So that was the period. What was the good he has done? He has done all welfare. He has undertaken all welfare activities. మనం చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి చదువుకుంటుంటాం. అశోకుడు రోడ్లు వేయించను, చెరువులు తవ్వించను, రోడ్డుకి ఇరువైపులా చెట్లు నాటించను. These are all the welfare activities meant for the public. So he has done this, and he has installed an edict. He has done a particular thing, and in that memory he used to say a pillar, a stone with inscription, this for the people of this area, this is the tank dug. For the achievement of this is the edict. So I have done this. So he started giving public information. That way he is reckoned as the father of public information, not propaganda. Buddhism associated with propaganda, because I already told you, religion goes with propaganda, war goes with propaganda, politics will go with propaganda. Now Emperor Ashoka is called the father of public information. Then came Mughal rule. During the Mughal rule, there used to be newsletters. He appointed some scribes, some writers, to get the information, because the dominion, the jurisdiction was very vast, almost entire country, subcontinent of India. He appointed some scribes, means journalists, reports here and there. There used to be two kinds of reporters. One is secret reporter, the other one is open reporter. So secret reportings will come through via secret channels only, whereas open reportings will go not only to the emperor, Mughal emperor, but also his subordinates, ఏమంటారు సామంతరాజులకి, మిగతా వాళ్ళకందరూ కూడా వెళ్ళేదన్నమాట. So he also adopted a kind of, he and his son is later, he adopted a procedure called Jaroka. Jaroka means window. Jaroka darshan ante window hearing. The present day, the government is adopting grievances day. Every Monday, every collector will organize a grievance day, wherein people come with some kind of applications and petitions explaining their problems, and that will be decided. If it can be solved, it will be solved within no time. If it cannot be solved, it will be explained to the applicant, individual applicant or the petitioner. So this grievances day or hearings has the roots in Jaroka darshan of Mughal period. So the emperor used to sit at the window inside his palace and the people would line up, and one after the other will explain, and there the other officials of the court means not legal court means royal court, the office of the emperor or king. So in the officials of the royal court used to receive them, note them out, and then their problems are solved. So one step ahead, his son Jahangir might be, he has gone to the extent of installing a bell of justice in front of the palace. So whoever gets affected, gets some kind of injury, some kind of a problem, some kind of injustice, they can come and ring the bell. Immediately, somebody will come out, attend, listen, and try to solve the problem. So this is public relations. Public relations is nothing but seeking solutions, managing the things, not only hearing, also giving out information. So this is a management function. So public relations, these are all the exercises. Listening is also communication. Do you know? Listening is also communication, not only talking communication. Reading is communication, writing is communication, listening is communication, thinking is communication, dreaming is communication. A human being spends 95% of his lifetime in communication. The communication can be either talking or listening, reading, writing, thinking, dreaming, soliloquy. Soliloquy means talking to our own self. Talking to our own self. When you are alone, sometimes you'll be talking to yourself. That is called soliloquy. Dialogue means when two persons are there, there will be exchange of words, exchange of sentences, exchange of communication. So whether you talk or listen or think or dream or soliloquy or even dreaming, this is 95% of the lifetime of an individual. Leave alone the animals, the human beings. 95% of the lifetime is spent in communication. That is the communication. And that communication is the lifeblood in the practice of public relations. Because we deal with information, we deal with communication. We need information. We need to communicate with the people. Communicate does not mean feedback, feed forward only. Communication does mean feedback also, perceptions also. Okay. Then after Mughal period, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, the period is called social communication. So he used to communicate with the society. And he is one of the famous, perhaps the foremost social reformer. Kandukuri Veerasalingam came later, and he is known only to Telugu states, Telugu area. But Rajaram Mohan Rai was the first social reformer because he communicated with the people, and through communication only, through information only. Do you know he has established 3 newspapers like Gandhi. Of course, Rajaram Mohan Rai was the prior to Gandhi only. Rajaram Mohan Rai started a journal called Sambad Kaumidi and another journal, one in English, one in Hindi, and one in Bengali. And he used to write against the government of the day what are all the evils in the society. Because of his efforts, because of his information giving to the people, because of the information he got, because of the communication process, he could expose the evils in the society, like the child marriage he exposed, and thereafter a law came banning the child marriage. And he propagated in favor of widow marriage, and that has become a law. Now women can marry again, and again. Uh, uh, for second marriage, third marriage, remarriage, for that matter. Otherwise, there used to be a system, very bad system in the society, Indian society, that a widow must confine herself indoors. She should not come out. She should not wear colored clothes. She should not have a hair. She should answer. గుడ్డు కొట్టుకోవాలి, తెల్ల బట్టలు వేసుకోవాలి, బయట కనిపించకూడదు, వంటింట్లోనే ఉండాలి. All these restrictions, because man has created God has created both man and woman on equal footings, but that was the discrimination given by the society. So he has started communicating with the society, and he has pointed out the flaws in the society, and he could also abolish the bad practice called sati sahagamana. What is sati? Sati means the sati should die along with pati. Pati means husband, Sati means wife. When a husband dies, whatever is the reason, for ill health or his death due to in a war or a conflict, whatever it is, when a husband dies on the funeral pyre or in the pit, the wife should be thrown so that she should also die. She has no right to live after her husband's death. So that was a very, very bad practice that could be abolished because of the information, because of the communication practices adopted by Raja Ram Mohan Rai, the first social reformer. He has reformed the society. So today's public opinion is tomorrow's legislation. Today's public opinion, tomorrow's legislation. ఈ రోజు ప్రజాభిప్రాయము రేపు ఒక చట్టం అవుతుంది. It means what? In a democracy, people are the rulers. People are the real rulers. Whatever they want, it should be given. They don't ask for bad things. They ask only for the refined things. Because they asked for the child marriage to be abolished. So it has become a law. People asked for remarriage of the widow because that has come as an act, as a statute. They asked that the woman should not be put on funeral pyre along with the dead husband. So it has become a law, and that has been abolished. It means whatever it is, today's public opinion is tomorrow's legislation. That is the strength of communication. That is the strength of information. That is the strength of democracy. And democracy is based on public perception. And public perception can be modified by way of public opinion, modifying the opinion, and the modification of public opinion, modification of the perceptions, managing the perception of the people is the job of public relations practitioners. That is the job of public relations profession. Okay. Now come to the era of publicity during the British period. The First World War, publicity boards were established everywhere throughout the British dominions, not only India. In every country under the rule of British people during the First World War, because during the First World War, they are our rulers. During the Second World War, they are our rulers. In the First World War, publicity boards were established because that was the era of publicity. Therefore, the boards were established. And during the Second World War, war publicity has become necessity for them. War publicity means your fathers, your grandfathers must have experienced in the cinema theaters, in the cinema talkies. Yes, something called in the beginning of every movie, every film, there used to be a reel called war reel. War, the reel about wars. Because every war, what has happened to India, how our soldiers, our sipais, our leaders are toiling, how they are trying to protect the boundaries of the nation, how they are trying to protect the inmates, the citizens of the country. What is the expenditure? How they are facing the troubles and turmoils in the forefront, in the backyard, in the waters, on the sea, uh, mm, along the Himalayan mountains, and in the air. Everything used to be made into a reel, and they used to be in the cinema theaters and cinema talkies before the actual movie begins. They used to display that kind of. It is meant for making the people know about what is happening during the war period. That is one purpose. And the second purpose was to seek some kind of financial support. Several people, including Mahanati Savitri, if you have seen that movie, Mahanati Savitri donated her entire jewelry, నిలువు దోపిడి అంటే ఒంటి మీద ఉన్న బంగారం అంతా తీసి ఇచ్చేసింది. Similarly, all rich people and poor people alike, whatever they had, they donated towards war fund. So that was the reason during the Second World War. During the First World War period, they have established publicity boards, and during Second World War, they adopted several modes of communication, including war reels and going along the streets with joli పట్టుకుని నెహ్రూ కూడా, even Nehru and several leaders, and Tamil Nadu Gandhi, I forgot his name. Everywhere, leaders have gone into the villages and streets on the roads as a procession, asking for alms, asking for beggings, whatever money, whatever cash, whatever gold, because the war is to be funded. If the war could not be funded, if there is no arms and ammunition for our soldiers, the British people will leave us as it is. They will raise their hands. And then, if it is the case, if that is the case, we have to defend our boundaries. For that purpose, we need money to buy arms and ammunition to feed the soldiers. So that kind of a publicity was also there. Then Gandhian era of public communication, as already discussed in the model, it was based on truth. And then after the independence, now this is the age called public relations. Public relations age is right from 1957. Public relations word as a profession, it may be some 80 years, but some 125 years ago, for the first time in his speech, the president of America in 1924 or 95, he said relations with the public and public relations. So whatever is the relations, it has refined itself. It has become a syntax of both management and journalism, and evolved as a profession itself. It is just 100 or 125 years old, so to say. But after our independence in 1947, because of the industrial policies, especially in industrial policy in 1956 and new industrial policy in 1991, the public relations profession has flourished as it is today. Now it is a distinct profession. It is a management profession. Now, having seen this history of public relations, let us go to quickly RPCE model, 4 stages of PR model. This PR model is very easy to understand. Therefore, I do not dwell on it very in length. I will just deal with it in just 2-3 minutes. What is RPCE? For anything to be communicated, especially in terms of public relations practice, or any marketing campaign, or any advertising campaign, or any communication campaign, or any market integrated market communication campaign. These are the 4 stages. They are RPCE. RPCE stands for, just like for you, SMCR for a communication model. SMCR for communication model. Sender, message, channel, receiver. You write down and keep it in mind. Communication standardized model is SMCR, because these 4 stages, 4 ingredients, these 4 elements are universal. There can be 10 elements, there can be 3 elements. For example, SSCI are the elements of Aristotle model. When Aristotle has evolved a model of communication, he said it was only SSA, speaker, speech, audience. That was the primitive model, Aristotelian model. There were Defleur model. There came a Defleur model. Defleur model has several elements, crisscross, just like a spider nest. The communication travels crisscross. There will be influences. There will be noises. But still, SMCR model stands the universal. These 4 stages of SMCR model: sender, message, channel, receiver, and intermediate things may be many, but these 4 stages are standard. Similarly, for public relations model, there are 4 stages are called elements or 4 ingredients. These 4 ingredients are RPCE: research, planning, communication, evaluation. So when you do anything, before doing anything, you will do a small kind of research. Research does not mean registering, taking a synopsis, and creating hypothesis, constructing this and that, and then making a thesis and getting a PhD. That is a research. That is a systematic research. And for award of PhD, a degree. But this research is a basic research. This basic research, R stands for research, This is nothing but situation analysis. This R stands for research. In other words, situation analysis or fact finding. So R stands for research, that is situation analysis and fact. What has happened? What is happening? Why it happened? These are all the questions. Then if you understand the problem by these questions, then you will proceed to plan for communication. Then the second stage is planning. Planning includes budgeting. So you will plan a communication campaign. You will plan a communication campaign. For that, a situation analysis, the first stage is necessary. Second thing is planning. Planning includes budgeting, man, material, period, area, everything you will have to fix it. Supposing it is easy for you to understand if I say dog menace in the city in your area. Dog menace, కుక్కల బెడద, వీధి కుక్కలు చాలా ఉంటున్నాయి ఈ మధ్య. చాలా ఈ మధ్య కాలంలో these days we are seeing, listening that dogs are killing even small children, attacking even the elderly people also. They are falling prey. So this is the problem. There must be a communication plan. The municipal commissioner has given you the task of you give a plan how to deal with this dog menace. Now you will do a situation analysis, a fact finding exercise. That means a research. After that stage, you will plan for a communication campaign. In that plan, you will identify the people who to be present into service, the material, what is the material required, whether the posters, whether the vans, or radio communication, TV communication, newspaper advertising, or press conferences. That is part of the plan. And planning includes budget, how much money you need. All these things constitute the planning stage. So second stage, second ingredient, second element of this RPCE model of public relations campaign on public relations communication campaign, advertising campaign, marketing campaign, whatever is the campaign. If it is a campaign includes a communication process. So it must have this model to be built into, and then you'll go accordingly. Then for dogs, if dogs are there, situational, how many dogs there, how many bites, what is the medicine? Second, planning means how to counter that. How many things, how many dog catching squads, how many sterilization squads, how much money is needed, how many injections is needed, which places to be identified, which places first, which places next. These are all planning. Then communication. You go for communication. So you start communicating because you have some information, what and how and why. You have a plan, and then you start communication. Communication means executing the plan. So in the execution of plan, you will communicate, and then after execution, you will evaluate the situation. Again, situation analysis. The last stage is evaluating the situation after implementing the communication plan. So RPCE stands for research, planning. Planning includes budgeting. Research includes situation analysis and fact finding. Planning includes budgeting. Communication means communicating with information. And then E stands for evaluation. Back to square one. You will evaluate the then situation after implementation of the campaign. So these 4 stages are important for any campaign. And then is the time out? If the time is out, let us call it a day. Any question quickly, as far as we discussed, quickly? If there are no questions.
No, sir.
Okay. Who is that?
Amjad, sir.
Amjad. Anybody? No. Okay. Thank you for listening. Next Sunday, let us deal with other lessons. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good day.
Thank you.
Good day.